Witness, please state your names and occupation for the court. My name is BlackRose, and I am a content creator that is currently in love with you, Van Zeeks. So, yeah. Oh my god. There. All right. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do some more Ace Attorney, yeah. And where we last left off, we left off at something. I don't even remember myself. So see, this is important because I I kind of don't remember some of the shit that I read yesterday. I was so tired. I think I literally was just reading to read. Like, I don't think I was comprehending much of what I was reading yesterday because I was just at that point I was just like tired. Like my body was just shutting down. Like my face was going numb. I'm like, okay, my body's telling me to like get the fuck off and go sleep. And I did. Like as soon as I got off, like I knocked the fuck out. I was so tired. But anyways, okay, going to Natsume in prison. Oh, that's right, that's right. So, where we last left off, we are going to back to the prison to Natsume, and we're gonna talk to him, and I'm assuming at this point we're just gonna go ahead and just say like, look, we're gonna represent you. Bam. All right. Wait. Oh, that's wait. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, yes, I know. Let's hail a care. Oh, oh, what? What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garadeb's house. Oh. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking nimini pimini? These fucking insults. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Oh, Jesus. See, I'm already struggling with old English. This man is like old English. Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you on about? Excuse me. What the? Who are you now? I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see. A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Tisk. Fine. I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. What? This ain't over yet. I swear to God if he's one of the witnesses. Get thee a nunnery. No, oh, get thee to a nunnery. Oh God. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? What is up with this guy? What is up with this guy? I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here? In the Garadeb residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garadeb mentioned that he had another lodger. He did. I just didn't say like ratio at the end. I thought I was. I guess not. Okay. This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words. Near could there be? Sorry, battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. Acquaintances. So fair maiden, so good a gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. I don't know what that means. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garrett house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Well, yeah, that prince-like man took, like, all our time. 19th February, 6:31 p.m., Locale, Prison, Cell 9. We're gonna represent you, pretty much. Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I can't believe he came back. I'm so touched. Yeah, just calm down. God, his teeth scared the shit out of me, though. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese. Right. Oh, now let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Okay, look, can you not, Mr. Sholmes, please? His teeth look like the fake teeth you put on if you have no teeth. Yeah, for real. Such is my belief, at least. Oh, it's you. The miserable, rotten spy. Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se. Save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. This man just barging in people's rooms and just reading shit. You? How dare you, Herlock Sholmes? Ugh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings, no doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned. I mean, you also barged into his room and took a receipt from... Okay, look, no. I was investigating. There's a difference. There's a difference between my investigation and Herlock just being a goddamn creep. There's a complete difference. I was investigating. 100%. Fully valid. My whole life is bedamned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before. He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Alright. Would you like to see this? What is this? We found this receipt in your room, Mr. Natsume. Hey, Comrade Kaylin, how's it going? Gonna watch while I make some. Ooh, that sounds so good. See, now you're making me hungry. I literally just finished eating, and like you're making me hungry again. Like I just had I had like bacon, egg, and sauteed potatoes because I was really feeling like breakfast food for dinner. So I still got my proteins and stuff, and so that's good. It's just I just wanted something like breakfasty tonight. I don't know why, but now you're making me hungry. Anyways, you better eat the shit out of that chili. It must be really good. See, that's right. I went out to buy some new old books. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? And it was on your way back to your room that you saw the woman being stabbed? She's dead, I thought to myself, she's dead. My mind went completely blank. Before I knew it, I was back in my room, trembling like a leaf. The bookworm hoping to worm his way out of a bad situation? Mr. Naruhodo, please do be careful not to think such disparaging thoughts. Such thoughts. Sounds good. I had bacon and pancakes earlier. Ugh. I'll probably make some pancakes this weekend, to be honest, for breakfast. That would sound good. Unfortunately, I don't have time to make breakfast in the mornings, so I just have protein shakes in the mornings. But on the weekends, I make breakfast foods. Like, so far I've been on like a streak of making French toast, which is great. It's yummy. But no, like pancakes and stuff like that, like, ugh, so good. Let's see, he's shitting and throwing up. Oh my god. What's up, pros? What's up, Silentine? How's it going? And Medan Coasty. Yeah, no, like he's just him right now. He's just in his own world right now. How could you possibly know? Right, okay. Now let's talk to you and what's going on with this trial? Down with societal expectation, pancakes for dinner. I mean, hell yeah, I would, but it's a little too heavy. A little tiny bit too heavy for me at night. I don't like eating too heavy at night. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? No, not really, because I'm going to save antiques. So how could it be cursed? It's not. Cereal for dinner, cold pizza for breakfast. Oh, I mean, those are still options. Yeah, those are good options. I mean, cereal is not that heavy. Like, it is pretty light if you don't eat the whole box at one sitting. It can be light. Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no! What do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, he actually did 16 words! Okay. He actually did 16 words. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Yeah, it was. I'm your Japanese comrade, I got you. Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Yeah, Mr. McGilded, fuck him. I'm happy I don't have to deal with him. What? I am impressed, Mrs. Zato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself. Okay, look. See, you, Lord... Don't you say that about my bae Van Zieks. He will never hurt a fly except my ass. But he'll never hurt a fly. No. There's no way he... No. Oh, no, he couldn't have, surely. No, he didn't. You have some wonderful notions. Oh, boy. Okay. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Of course. Of course he is. Then why are you not trying... Why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypotheses. Uh-huh. What on earth do you mean by that? Go on. Van Zieks is quite exceptional. He's quite a fine man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good. So Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers a public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly is from time to time, my dear madame, it is simply the reality of the situation. See, this is a flawed court of law. Very flawed. And a light on the side with his glass throwing. Oh god, chaos, that's funny. And that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most Does he kidnap them? Because I want to be in Van Zieks' room. He can kidnap me. He can kidnap me, yeah. Disappear, but how? By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen, or perhaps I get magically put in Van Zieks' home. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid. Mr. Naruhodo. So, can we go in court already? I knew it. I'm a dead dodo done for, doomed. We're not gonna let you die that easy, don't worry. You'll be fine. You're not gonna die. Hey, what is up, Anubis? Libra. No, you didn't miss much. We've just been talking to Natsume, gathering more intel and information before we actually start the court case. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garridup's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. Aw, thank you for the raid, Kami. I appreciate it. Oh my god, you're so good to me, I swear. Thank you. And hello, Sunny Penelope, and thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. And Not So Great the Games. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. But yes, if you guys haven't followed Ikami yet, please, please, please drop them a follow. And I hope your stream session went well. Hope it went really well, actually. And don't worry, we didn't get into the good shit in the court casing and stuff. So there's that. We are literally gathering information still. So, but we are gonna get into the groove on these cases. Like, get into the groove in the court trial on this case. We'll get there. But thank you so much for the follows. I appreciate it. I really do. Yes, I was playing Great Ace Attorney. Oh, please. I've just been like, just thirsting over Van Zeek's. He's not even on screen and I'm thirsting over him. They mention his name, my ass is like, Van Zeek can have me. Like, he can do anything to me. Like, I've been just thirsting him when he's not even here. I'm just a bit behind you, I think, so to avoid spoilers, I'm after like, alright, no worries, Ikami. It's good. It's all good. Alright. Anyways, I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So, I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now. About a week ago. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place." Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean, the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. Can you people, are you sure you didn't stab the lady? Because now I'm questioning him. Are you sure? Sir, hello? What? Yo, I see it too. He does give off Edgar Allan vibes. Oh, yes. I have a Discord. Yes, thank you so much, Chaos, for that. Yeah, I know I have my Linktree and stuff posted. I think what I'm gonna do is just make it easier for my mods to post links. I'm just gonna, like, eventually just post my Linktree link on there, and then you'll have everything. Alrighty, Kami, enjoy the rest of your night. Let me see. But no, are you sure, Soseki, that you haven't, like, just been stabbing people without realizing it? I'm Brendan, a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. Right. If only there was someone. Just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really? No one at all? To believe. Yes, to believe. I mean, I kind of have to. It's hard-coded in ones and zeros that I have to accept this case. So I have no choice. Alright, believe it. Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS... Why do we keep mentioning the SS Buria? If you recall. The Buria. Oh, that case. The one with the snake. Yeah, the one with the snake. Well, yes. At that time, I was a suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. We had to fight with you for that one, that's for sure. What I want to know is why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes, you mean... Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room? Well... If you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. Is Mr. Sholmes like more big brain than he wants us to believe? I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment. Nothing more. Alright, Sholmes is just a very crazy guy. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning... Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. The names. Whether or not I can believe myself. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Man. R.I.P. Kazuma. Cute. I'm still sad he died so early. You were so right, Kazuma. I'm so mad he died so early on. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trouts. Would you care to join me? Are we going to say that we're going to defend them? Oh dear, there is never enough time, is there? You have something to say, Soseki? Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Yes. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yep, I made the choice. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So, I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native language. I got like so happy. I like, I don't know, I'm just getting excited. It's just so hype. It's like, I'm gonna represent you, dude. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. I forgot she overspilled that. Miss Susato, yes? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? I mean, she kind of has to. Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. She better be with me in court. The shocking events of yesterday's trial will weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. To be continued. To be continued. See, if I continued this like last night, all the way to like the to be continued part, I would be so mad. I would have been so mad. Alright. Yes, sabe. Okay. 20th of February 1923 a.m. The Old Bailey defendants in the chamber. I'm giving the I get to see Van Zeke soon. Okay, let me calm down. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We're on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need so much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. Hey, what's up, Liquid Q? How's it going? In which case, treating it as a research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. Oh, hello, Mr. Susato. Good morning. You look... I said Mr. Susato. Mr. Natsume, my bad. Mr. Susato. I meant Mr. Natsume. Look, I didn't notice his eyes were bloodshot. Like, if you look in the whites of his eyes, they are bloodshot. Jesus. Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot, yeah. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. What's wrong? I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. Too terrified to tremble. I made you trembling now, so you kind of lost. Really? Because I can feel tremors on the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Sato? I'm sorry, Miss Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just a coincidence then, is it? The fact that you can read that seamlessly mystifies me. It's not that hard to read. At least to me, I don't know. Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Mrs. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar. Yeah, he did. But I get to see Van Zeeks, so that's cool. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. What a harrowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers. Mundane? Mundane? It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, at least we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention, but there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. What? Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Thank you. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? But by the least lucky lawyer alive. Look, I got the other guy not guilty, sir, so you need to back the fuck up. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Exactly. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck, but I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires. What is wrong with you? Oh my god. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live, yeah. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. Oh, is it time? court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way to the courtroom at once. Okay, this is hype. I'm hype. I'm so hype. All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This is it. Oh, this is... yeah. This is it. This is, yes, my second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. So how many chalices thrown and legs slammed in this trial? I don't know. Let's say, how about like 5? Like 5 each, so then I can have a great experience. Alright, the Old Bailey Courtroom, 20th of February, 10 o'clock a.m. I'm about to choke. Okay. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this courtroom to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. Oh, I've been waiting for you, Van Zeeks. I'm ready. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongcon has told me all about you. Oh, and thank you for the follow, BroJam69. Thank you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur. Do you have a point? Because I kicked your ass last trial. You mad? Because I'm just better than you. You mad? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Sasato-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. I was not ready for that. That was too early. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that. Very true, and a most fascinating, if a dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent, and here's to me about to have a good-ass case tonight. Oh, God. Oh, let's start this case. I want to judge. Throw me in. Let's go. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Oh, hello again, sir. Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. Oh, hello! I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that mustache foreigner did the deed. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Huh? Sorry? I didn't quite catch that. Okay, look, why... First we had Grandma, now we have Grandpa over here. God. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country student the warmest of welcomes. Regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. That's one glass. Okay. Ooh, feisty though. Rare. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the streets. A knife crime? I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry? I didn't quite catch that. Okay, look, old man, you need to just get out of here. Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice and you don't need to apologize. Look, the only thing that you need to apologize is for looking so goddamn fine, because I can't focus. I can't fucking focus. It's okay, Van Zeeks. It's all good. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias, whatever. Gregson. Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. And hello, Jarvis. How's it going? I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger? Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Miss, that looks like a mister. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But what motive would he have to try to even attempt to kill her? But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. The case file has been entered into the court record. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. The jackknife has been has been entered into the court record. Thank you. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have anything much worth pinching, my lord. Except those big-ass cheeks that she has. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting secondhand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Yes! If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man. I think I said arrested. You arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
That objection hits so different. Oh, Can you throw me like that? Can you? Oh, anyways, I like them violent. Okay, Van Zeeks, this is gonna be a great court session. I'm ready. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. But your words have soured its hollowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. See, that's the third thing I mentioned in the call a couple days ago. Oh, that animation? Oh, God. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponi student. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Witness testimony. Let's go. Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Hey, what's up, mighty Dialga? Visibly was reasonably good, and there was no one else about. There was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Right, Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Ah, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. The crime scene photograph has been entered into the court record. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat, denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mrs. Otto? Do you go on? Mr. Natsume has admitted to you playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her... Bam! Stabbed. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from her. So I ran, as fast as my legs could carry me, back to my accursed lodgings. The fact that you ran, man. A green overcoat? Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? Lots of things, like smartphones. The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. Okay. I don't know why, but that animation gets me every time. I don't know why. Oh, God. A fact that the accused concedes. Look, if I lose this case, it's Van Zeek's fault. It's all his fault. I can't think straight. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Alright, let's go, Van Zeeks. Mr. Natsume's arrest. Let's go. Oy, okay. As I said, it was 7 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. Okay, let me go ahead and check my evidence and thoroughly examine everything. And the sum of 2 shillings render receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq, a meal for Gaborio? Canterbury Yearnings. Customer Mr. Natsume. Your books. Your books? 17th of February, 4:45. Okay. Alright, this is a knife, but there's really nothing except is the tip chipped? Wait. Is there really nothing? Okay, there's really nothing on the knife to examine. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Because cooking it again just cheats it. Actually, wait, no, one more time. Because now I'm curious. Okay. I just want to inspect those things. Aha! I was right! The tip is chipped! Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. It's just the tip. See, I knew it was chipped. You can't hide it from my special eyes. A small piece of blade appears to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Mrs. Otto. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Right, okay. Okay, progress. Progress. Okay, photograph of the scene. I wish you told us the book names, but that's not gonna matter. That means if it was dull, like, how would he be able to, like, ram it in there, like, properly? I mean, it didn't draw blood, so yeah, it didn't, I guess. Okay, so she's stabbed and all that stuff, and... Okay, so details, olive green, female, built, early 20s. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown apart from the single stab wound from the large knife. No other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Okay. Alright, so we got everything pretty much examined. Yeah. Yeah, okay. 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, it was under the lake fog. There's no one else about the victim but the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought his way from home from a bookshop, it seems. In the matter of working out who the books belong to, we found the books to rest him. Okay. Alright, let's press you.
Hold it!
A light fog, you say? Well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once, but not much farther though. That's light, is it? Has she been strangled? I don't think so, no. Because, she's in a coma. She's unconscious, and that's the only one they saw on her. Unless, like, the fat from her cheeks is literally covering a choke wound. I highly doubt. But I don't think she was choked. Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese, a fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London is famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance. Tisk, how quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed, the other day I was very, very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. The fuck? That is some thick fog. Like, if it's like... Fuck London. No, thank you. Suzato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen. However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. Right, okay. Visibly, it was reasonably good, and there was no one else about the victim.
Hold it!
You sure? You sure? How are you able to state that with certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witness to this crime have told us. Yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witness yesterday. Didn't he? God damn, I can't say didn't. I stuttered so bad on that one. That's probably the worst stutter I've had this entire playthrough. That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct, ma'am. Oh, we're going back to slaps now. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary. Look, you call in here right now. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Hold it!
Hold it. From behind, you say? That's right. As you can see from this print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition? Comatose, no less? I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at Bart's. I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events. Luck is on your client's side, it seems. What? On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. Van Zeeks you.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume belongings. I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic prints of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Secondhand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. Yeah, all that water. The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. No. No. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there. You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest secondhand bookshop to the accused's lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end, which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Something like this. The local maps information has been updated. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. I agree too. The most important point that the inspector just made being the bookshop's name. The Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Very vital. Maybe? Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it would be a very important clue. Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance, but please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord, whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? Here we go, our first line. Objection, bitch. Okay, just making sure. Your books, yes. It's called Your Books, not Bourbon Books.
Objection!
We did it. First objection of the night. We got it right, 100%. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 secondhand books. And you found that in the accused's room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. Oh yes, go on. The receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume? Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a secondhand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another secondhand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place. I didn't think the accused would have known about it. But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Ooh. Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here, if that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Positively, absolutely. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Mearsham Street going east. Oops, I said west. The local maps information has been updated in the court record. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die in this case. I'm gonna die of a fucking heart attack. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh god. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus. Oh my god. You put that glass now or I'll put it down for you. Ooh, Susato. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Allow me to reiterate for my learned of somewhat slow Nipponese friends. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say? I've had enough of this now. Beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that? Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. She's absolutely right. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. They claim Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but we always object in this house. Objection! The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Yeah. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. I can. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around. Right. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
But yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's great. Yeah, he's definitely of great help, not. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. Oh boy, that's great. I don't believe this. Ugh, of course. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? Oh boy, here we go. But even if that's the case, the defense still... I agree with Lord Van Zeeks, wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean... We, members of the jury, are completely convinced now. Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Oh!
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. Suzato, do the thing. Suzato, do the thing. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve queen and country admirably. Mr. Naruhodo. Get up. This is not a game over. Get up. No, not yet. This isn't over. That's right. Because I really thought I fucked up, but that's right. That's right. Let's go. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of Query, not yet willing to give up and die. So, I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Look, you just mad because I can read. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense prerogative to carry out a summonation examination if it so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summonation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his Onkus refusal to throw in his alley. Whatever Onkus means. Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Let's do this. The jurors' contentions. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself. Didn't he? If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the house. Around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books, yes. Nice shop, that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit. Damn. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their mind. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. Alright, forward we go. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summonation examination. Yes, my lord. That's right. Slap yourself into shape. I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke. You can do it. You can do it. Let's go. Oh, and we get to see him pace back and forth. And now pressing in the judicial finding is helpful. It wasn't useful in the basically example in their cases. Ah, okay. That little Nipponese already admitted himself, didn't he?
Hold it!
Hold it. Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was at the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors Well, those rumors are buzzing around because you had questionable things about you during that case. And the police have been badgering me nonstop. If I could turn back the clock. Well, anyway, I don't know about the Hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. He's not first no more. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the victim.
Hold it!
You sure? You're right that the time... You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that's someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Nipponese man with a disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let's not forget, madame, that the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you think he would have had concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your family, through your funny little minds? Look, okay, look, bitch, you need to back the fuck up with these insults. I don't appreciate it. Who's a lawyer here? Naruhodo, me, us, we're the lawyers here. Who's a lowly juror that I'm about to mind game the fuck out of? You, so you need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down before I slap the powder off your face. Thank you. I can tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. Yeah, I could tell you right now, but you wouldn't like it. See, he knows. He knows. I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. Ugh. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. That went well for her. Right. I mean, it could have gone down around the houses. How would you know?
Hold it!
But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accuser himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold. So the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I have given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did. Wait, oh wait, did you say that he did it? Okay, yeah, on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Road way, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. A reason why Suzaki-san might have taken the longer way home. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. A good reason. Okay, it says nothing there. I don't think I have evidence for this yet.
Hold it!
You're right. I keep forgetting. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. You are right. I keep forgetting. Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garradeb, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room? The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand? She's keeping up that charade? This is going to be awkward. Why didn't she mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, Tate's lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And at that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh my goodness me, yes, he's just the sort. What? Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh my god. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... I mean, she did. Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. This maid, not trustful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be done.
Hold it!
Alright. I'm gonna press the shit out of you. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. Oh, he got you there. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left and right and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is. So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner of where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. Aha! Another coincidence. That's right. Meerschaum Street it was. Meerschaum Street. On the map, Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can't we just get to business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. Yes, it's important. Very, very important. Yes.
Objection!
Ooh, yes, we got our first objection. Let's go. These two statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel, explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3. Oh, me, sir? What do you want? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. Surprised you got that one, to be honest. It took me what you mean, the pit on this one? That was easy. Super. I like how I get the hard ones, like 1, 2, 3, but then the simple ones I struggle. God. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meerschaum Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road. Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every single gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this: the defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right. Yes, juror number 3, he said the following: the man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now that he had no choice. Oh man, the sleepy man is coming in. I'm getting that sleepy sand on me. My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may. Yes? I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Thank you. You are a good man. What about you, sir? Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's strengthened our position somewhat. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely. Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Van Zieks is looking to bring his trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal. Thank you, counsel. On with the summonation examination, please. Yes, my lord. All right, old man.
Hold it!
Sorry? Fold it, you say? Fold what? Oh, God. No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoyed reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my family routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books on the Sunday in question? I'm assuming cold tea. I don't know. This game of terminologies and words. Okay. I need to pull another hodo because I'm falling asleep. I need to wake up. I'm tired. Let me just stretch. I am just like really tired. I need to stretch. I need to stretch. And then shake it all out. Okay. All right. That should have woke me up a little bit. Could play the game while standing and adjust the camera. Oh god. Maybe. You know, let me do that for a little bit. Just so that, like, I'm not falling asleep. Thank god I have an adjustable mic, so that's cool. Alright. Hi, everybody. Alright, so I'm falling asleep. I'm gonna, like, just stand up for a little bit and play the game. So, because I can't stay up right now. Push the chair back so I don't injure myself. Alright, I think that should be good. Let me just put this up here and then put this down a little bit. Alright, that should be good. Right? Yeah, that should be. Alright. This should be good. Yeah. Just in case. Okay, there. Alright, let's get this going. Okay, well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I am not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. Just donked his head. Donked my head. That's when it's most slippery. I knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road? That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information because that's what we need. We need that information. Did you add the information to your formal statement? It may very well be extremely significant. Sorry? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now. But that's okay, old man. Oh god. You've changed 2 of the jurors' minds, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, just 2 more to go. Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here. Wish I knew how to do a Suzato takedown. I suppose the words will have to suffice for now. Yes, words will have to suffice for now. For pity's sake, that little Nipponiese oddity, blah blah blah. Okay, so... No. I'm gonna go back to the old man. I slipped over that even myself on Calabash Road. I knocked myself clean out, you know? If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the The guy is wearing green. I need to bring this up over here. Thank you. The guy is wearing green. Green, he could have... That's the old... I think the green person he saw fall was Grandpa. I think the man he saw was Grandpa.
Objection!
It was Grandpa! These two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. It was Grandpa! A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. My, whatever do you mean, sir? Hey, what's up, Ashley PG? How's it going? I'm standing up right now because I can't stay up. I'm tired. So, I need to be standing for the rest of the session because I am falling asleep, and I don't want to be falling asleep because I'm pretty sure like half of this thing I was just like completely bored, like just boring, and half the shit I didn't know what I was even saying. It was bad. So I'm just standing up, staying up, standing up, staying up, staying up. Like, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. Oh, I can pace back and forth now. Oh, yes. Yes. The bookshop receipts found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. And that's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are well aware of all this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously. I blame the late Unite sessions, yeah. But I found out, though, side note, I found out, Pokemon Unite, this isn't a complete Season 2, by the way. Our ranks won't reset yet. They're gonna reset in the next month and a half. This is Season 1.5, apparently. So, even though they called it Season 2, it's Season 1.5. It is not wholly Season 2. That's why we're still at our master ranks and we haven't received the rewards yet. Isn't that great? So Mars has more time to get to masters. So yeah. Okay. We are all aware of this. The young poor woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madame? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my. Mm-hmm. Oh, he gets it. My goodness, you mean... That's right. I am referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was a jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today? That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that. My goodness me. Sorry, you need a pee? Oh my god. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my! You idiot old man, if he hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago. And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the street these days, Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to just fall down and call life alert? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it? Oh god. Oh. Are you gonna give me not guilty now? My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but... You'd like to change your leaning, I presume? I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Oh, thank you. You are so kind. Thank you so much. So kind. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I would too. What? Oh, thank you, Grandpa. I appreciate it. Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well... Okay, chill, Grandpa. Before you get a hernia, like, damn. Not guilty. Let's go. Well, that summonation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The yeas 2, the noes 4. So the noes have it, not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hollow chalice moments after raising an objection? Oh no, you drink the shit out of that chalice, because that chalice is me in an alternate universe. Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks. It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet, we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Isn't that 3 chalices that he broke this? I swear that was 3 that he broke this case. Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
Oh, objection. I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is true. Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. Wait, no, it's 3, you're right. Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's 3. He broke 3. I believe he said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir. That's right. It took me the whole day and they paid me a measly 2 pence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters, that's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. I just love it when he's just like, like, for real, it's just, yes. Like, Like, I love that so much. Man, you're paying attention to everything now that you're standing and moving? I guess, yeah. So, like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'll be standing from now on. I don't know. You know what? I'm curious. Everybody in chat, if you want to see me standing more, because apparently I'm more awake when I'm standing playing this game, if you want me standing in the future, just let me know. Say yes, say yay or nay in chat, actually. Yay or nay if you want more standing streams, Ace Attorney streams. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect the sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway, and we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town. Is that true? Is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. Could switch between standing and sitting at the beginning and ending? I guess. We could do that. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence. And, old man... Cold man, you can talk. You say that at around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say as I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would say 1,000 to 1. Against you being able to prove it. Oh. Ooh, challenge accepted. You don't know who you're fucking with right now. Challenge accepted, bitch. Ordar. Ordar. Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord? If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summonation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. Right, okay. Right. Next logical step would be to get a walking desk. Nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna be like... Because I'm gonna look like this, walking, and no. See, I am not... I am active when I want to be, but I want to be a potato. Like 98% potato. Like, that's what I want to be. I'm good. But my hospitality has its limits, and they haven't been reached, I feel. Not gonna lie, it's a good look. Oh, ooh-wah. Ooh-wah. Yes. Ooh, today's sightseeing have turned to no... The sights... It just started. What do you mean it's over? Bitch, how are you gonna take that off and say it's over? It started. Hello. Ooh-wah. Yes. What? It's starting. Let's go. What are you talking about? Ooh, Annie slams harder. Let's go. My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Yes. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. Chop chop. Double, let's go. It's next witnesses? Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
All right. No matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. He can slam me like that. Like that. That's for real. Yes. Witness, please state your names and occupation for the court. My name is BlackRose, and I am a content creator that is currently in love with you, Van Zeeks. So, yeah. Oh my god. Oh, Constable Roly Beats. I get it, Roly Beat, Roly Beat, Roly Beat. Constable Roly Beat, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. Or sir. Because he can't say sir. Oh, he's gonna fall asleep like that? He's just gonna fall asleep like that? And I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this Youngtown hero's wife. You are a very young looking couple. Holy shit. Are you like 16? What's the story here? Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. Oh, interesting. Wow. No, it was your husband I was talking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beats is the most demanding work in the world. Can check their ages in the record if you want to. You know what? Yes, let me, real quick. People, because we just met them. Oops. 23 and 21. Okay, well, they're young. They look young. Alright. It's the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed. Apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights. There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago. They might be in their 20s, but it's an anime 20s, right? But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehensions of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beats. For the London, Bobby is a man of honor. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Wait, what? Oh, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beats? That's right, sir. Isn't it, Roly? Sure. Constable Roly Beats, nothing to report on the streets, yeah, I think he only says that. He'll see someone get stabbed on the street, and that's what he'll say. Nothing to report, sir. I didn't see anything, sir. Sir. That's exactly what he's gonna say every time. What a great witness he's going to be. He's gonna be a special witness. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incidents. Yes, sir. That's funny. I love that. Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw. It was our wedding anniversary, and Roly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say. Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you establish in the summonation examination will be quashed. It's death knell, in fact. Oh, death knell. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate be Hansing, and on your wedding anniversary too. Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Indeed. However, the cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. Oh. They are testifying under oath that it was without a doubt the accused Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired his wife has to do all the talking. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Cross-examination. What the witnesses saw. It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time changing after work. Let me see. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. Collections were the others scattered. Scattered something before running off. Okay. I kind of want to push him on that last statement. Push.
Hold it!
Hold it! But surely, you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know. Right. The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was only light. He did, but you're choking the life out of him. Yes, and what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course. Oh, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm. Yes, alright, I'll take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? The constant fog makes your eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was a little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling? Oh. What? Yes, it was the accused and no mistake. Okay. The mustache, the hunched back, the cat-like eyes, the tout mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir. As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Saseki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So, that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they say they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day. Yes, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us? The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. Oh no. Then what do we do? If Kazuma-sama were here, What were you trying to say? I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate. Oh, right. Alright, okay. Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion. Ugh, why do I always seem to be so up against it? Alright, we got this. Two silhouettes appeared on the fog and the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them collapsed on the floor, the other scattered. Okay.
Hold it!
Hold it on the fog. Two silhouettes. I need some water. Two silhouettes. That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume. Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at that time, there was nobody else nearby? Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling? Yeah. He's gonna die. Well, yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight, and you could see fairly long way down the pavement. And there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians. Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you've just said? Yes, sir. As a copper who spends all day every day keeping watch on the streets, I swear to it, sir. I'm as sure. As my love for Patricia is true. Oh, okay. Alright, thank you for that. Very lovey-dovey. They're still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed. Okay, yeah. One of them just collapsed on the floor and the other scattered something before.
Hold it!
Right. Scattered something? What do you mean by that? Please don't boink in the corner. Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then, when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? He's gonna die. What? Yes, that's right. It was some old books. I see, old books. Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number of them, all around where the victim lay on the pavements. Indeed, as clearly pictured in this photographic print. Yeah, there's 3 books. That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
Hold it!
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunched back, the cat-like eyes, the tout mouth, the snub nose. Everything. Any more insults you want to throw in? That's right, he looked down at that poor defenseless a woman with those terrifying, intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away. I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife? Now please, continue. Yes, sir. See, registered, of course, anyone for help at a nearby police box. Okay. I'm just waiting for, like, the oh my god statement. Was it your husband who went to fetch help? No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling? What? Yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. Beat to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? Depends on a crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know. And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens. Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling? Isn't he, darling? Isn't he? Before I choke the shit out of you. Yes, what Patricia said. God. Let's move on, shall we? Oh, jeez. This testimony's hard. It was definitely that Japanese man. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Let's first of all, let's look at our evidence first. Seems like he might be into it. God. I mean, yeah, he probably is. He probably is, for all I know. Received physician books that he had purchased from a secondhand bookshop before the incident occurred. It's currently in hospital to begin consciousness, right? Okay. Being in the dock. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? You absolutely could. Us lenders have exceptional eyesight. Okay, right. The light from those street lamps is more than enough. And my husband's already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he? This is all retelling. It's thick. Can your own arm. Okay. Alright, we're going nowhere with this. We're going around in circles. Yep. So we're not going to focus, though, on his looks. We're going to focus on something else we can pin him on, right? So either it's the fogginess of the day, or how the events transpired. Like, what actually happened. Okay. Because this text, like, I already read. And Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Did I press this one? I don't think I did. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Miss Beat? Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply. Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you? I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling? Right. What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Oh no, Rolly, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy. Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct? That's right, Sug. Yes, although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, Sug. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the ends. Right. What's that now? My warrant card, Sug, proof that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it, as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty, to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. And for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But just on one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Miss Beat puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pat, oh, Rolly, oh, boy. Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold. If a little over the top, perhaps. And then, kindly describe what happened next. Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something? Oh, progress! 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 Yes, please do! Oh, yes, of course! What is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it. What? No. Oh no, it's really not that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Like, oh, I know. Oh, what about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one. Every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is? That will do, Miss B. No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will. I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please, put your husband's fist down. God. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss B? Might that appease you? I think that's gonna be a pattern now, just pressing every single one. Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? Sure. Like, I'm afraid that's gonna be me in the next, like, couple seconds. I could even tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the scene. There's 3 books, not 4, miss. Can you reiterate that, please?
Hold it!
Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby secondhand bookshop on the day in question. After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I am a proud policeman's wife, after all. I did it for Rolly. And What was your husband doing at the time? Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know, ever so hard. Don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Well, Miss Beat, seeing as you've regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene? I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was the picture of Monsieur somebody or other and what's it yearnings. Then there was a meal for someone, and the last one was definitely the thin gummies something? The what? You see? The what? Yes, I see there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory. Oh, well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure. There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it. Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling? Bruh, what the fuck? Hello? Damn! Anyone who accepts my Patricia will have me to answer to. The fuck? And then your ass is gonna go back to sleep. Alright. Alright. Terrifying. Yes. Yes, she really is. Oh my, he just popped the gun out. Like, holy shit. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? Yeah, okay. Skip all this. So it's either presenting the photo, right? Or the receipt. Which I want to say the game's gonna read it as either or, to be honest. So, but I'm gonna do the photo because the photo says that there was the names of the 4 books. So I'm gonna present. And I'm present the photo. If it's not the photo, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Objection!
Oh, we got it right. We got it right. So you're saying that there were 4 books? Hmm? That's right. I remember all of them. The picture of a monitor somebody, what's it yearnings, a meal for someone, and the thing gummies something. I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But you're dumb. You are dumb as fuck. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. Oh no. What flaw? Simply that at the scene of the crime, there are only 3 books, not 4. Thank you. What? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see, there are only 3 books. But no, that can't be. I saw them. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you can't fool me. Sorry. It's that big old lump of a dead body. The lady's so large, her corpse is blocking the view of the 4th book. That's all. Let's at least try to remember that the poor woman isn't dead, even if we're insulting her size. No, I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But Mr. Natsume could not possibly have dropped the 4 books you describe. Why not? Fascinating. Oh, yes, fascinating, I know. And from your assured tone, something you can readily substantiate with evidence, I presume? Oh, yes, I have the evidence, sir. Ah, evidence. I have the evidence. Counsel, will you present the evidence to substantiate your claim or withdraw it? What proof do you have that the accuser did not drop 4 books? I have his secondhand book receipt. Thank you. The evidence is right here, in the form of this bookshop receipts. From your books? Yes, this receipt details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed. No. Therefore, Mr. Natsume would have only dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. Which means that your powers of observation, madame, cannot be relied upon. That's right, bitch. So, it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken. Oh no. Oh no, oh no! Yep, that's right. That's right.
Objection!
Oh yeah, we're slightly over time, but that's fine. Oh! Oh, it's plainly evident. Oh wow, what are you gonna do to me? Please! Don't do this, Vanzeeks, please. That it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend. What? Oh my god, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, what cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accuser running from the scene. A fact that, you know, very well you have no hope of disproving. Right. So you striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair? He sees right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every aspect. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, Vanzeeks. Oh. You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found. No. He has receipt for 3. But what about the photographic prints? It only shows 3 books. Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say... Ooh, glass number 4? Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hands. Oh. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. Oh. Look. I just want to go to bed and not have to deal with any more bullshit from you, Vanzeeks, please. Okay? Oh, God damn it. No. Fuck. Okay. Ordar! Alright. I want to say this is a good point to stop. Because I'm going over time, and I am tired. So, I will say this is a good point, so then when I do jump back into this, there'll be more explaining. I can go through history and all that stuff. I'll probably do that in the beginning tomorrow and get that situated, so... Hey, Parasitic Sun, no worries. You could watch the VOD, rewatch the VOD, it's all good. And then this is going to be uploaded on YouTube eventually, so there's that. So, but anyways, other than that, let me go ahead and go into options. Record, save. Yes. Alright, but this is a good session. Very good. Very good. Get a good stretch going. Very good. But anyways, but like I said, if you guys enjoyed my standing performance, thank you. thank you. But I guess I can do that. Maybe like first half of Ace Attorney, I'll just chill in the seat. I may be standing in the beginning of this because the case is getting hype. So maybe if I get tired of standing tomorrow, then I'll sit down and then maybe stand up again. But I think Yeah, I think standing made me a lot more focused actually, and surprisingly, my stutter was very well. Like I wasn't stuttering as much, which is nice. So I think we'll be doing standing Ace Attorney streams from now on. I think I'm just gonna make that decision and make standing Ace Attorney streams. Yeah, I think that's gonna. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a thing. But anyways, thank you guys so much for dropping by. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time. And of course, we're going to do some more Ace Attorney. Other than that, have an awesome night. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye!